Excerpts from Passages About Earth by William Irwin Thompson. The planetary community opens outward with other groups around the world to effect an evolutionary transformation of human culture. Planetary culture is best defined in terms of anomalies, for anomalies express the limits to the categories of the old paradigm. Planetary culture is neither world-denying mysticism nor world-destroying materialism. It is a Pythagorean synthesis of science, religion, and art. It is spiritual ecstasy and political economy. Pre-industrial magic and post-industrial technology. Myth and history. In short, it is an embodiment of transcendence. Cultural transformations are more effective than violent revolutions in bettering the conditions of civilization. I'm going to say that again. Cultural transformations are more effective than violent revolutions in bettering the condition of civilization. The Crusades were failures, but the Renaissance was a success. Once, our institutions contained a definition of civilization. And in those days, we could go to the church to find holiness, the university to find wisdom, the corporation to find wealth, and the army to find glory. What is visible now in society in the form of institutions is the past. What is invisible now to society but experienced by individuals in consciousness is the planetary culture of the immediate future. As we look up at the stars, we do not see the light of the present, but the past. Similarly, as we look out at the buildings of Manhattan, we do not see the lights of the present, but the past. The whole cultural movement that began in the Reformation has reached its limits in the New Yorks and Los Angeleses of the modern world. That movement is now finishing, and a whole new cultural movement is beginning. The decentralization of American culture has just begun. In the age of civilization, the city, civitas, was where it was at. Now in the age of what Kenneth Boulding calls post-civilization, the cities are becoming the most uncivilized places of all. But now, thanks to the new planetary culture, one can return to the country without becoming its prisoner. Jane Jacobs has explained in The Economy of Cities how cities spin off innovation to the countryside where there is more space for open experimentation. 18th century neoclassical London spun off its new industrial energies to Manchester and Birmingham. Now individuals are spinning off from urban universities into spaces more open for the restructuring of human society. We are going back to the structure of the pre-industrial community and giving it a whole new content. In many ways, we feel that those who have failed to relate to post-industrial society are often, paradoxically enough, uniquely open to enculturation in the newly emerging planetary culture. As Yeats has said, nothing can be whole or soul that has not been rent. The way to effect the most profound cultural transformation is not to expend one's energy in attacking institutions or industrial society as a whole, for that kind of negative conflict inevitably turns one into his enemy. Rather, surround the demoralized society with a new radiant envelopment of symbols, a new field of consciousness, a new mythology. In the whole psychic orchestration of consciousness in the new sphere, the very young and the very old are as important as the generation in power. One group may be in power, but all are in consciousness. And it is consciousness that creates culture.